Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to a new video on my channel. I hope you're all doing well, and we are back for another PSGL League Racing video. Can you believe it? It is season 34. We are here in Japan, and well, this is actually a track for me that I really like. In the past, I had lots of success there. My first pole position. And just always liked the flow of it. Like, it's one of my favorite tracks. And yeah, so I was excited to go racing here. Did put in a few days of practice. And I mean, if you follow me on social media, you know that my thumb is a little bit injured, but I still wanted to do this race. So yeah, didn't hold me off. I will take a little step back from driving now to recover my thumb as much as I can. But all in all, this is all good at the moment. And you could see just in the hairpin there was a little snap. I lost like half a tenth easily just alone on the exit, and this was weird because I felt like it was a screen freeze and my Fanatec wheel snapped like weirdly in the force feedback for no reason. Yeah, so really odd. I don't get it. I really do not get how this happens. Always when I have these many cars in qualifying. In the race it's even usually fine, so I don't get it. Maybe it's something with my PC, maybe it's something with the wheel. But you can see we are currently out of Q1. Are we gonna make it through? And maybe. Not sure.
I think it will be close.
Might be enough, might not be, and it just is. P14. We just made it through.
Man, the final chicane is so hard.
It would have probably been
honestly
easy in the top 10, so a bit unfortunate, but we still made it. All good. Final run of Q2. I struggled the whole qualifying session in the final sector. For some reason I was a tenth slower than everyone. Just under pushing, couldn't grab the limit of that corner. And yeah, at the moment we are not as fast in sector 1 as we would need to be, and especially with missing the apex there. But considering that, I think the split was not that bad for Q2. I think we did a mid 7.4. Yeah, that's actually not too bad, considering how badly this was driven. But now in the middle, we're struggling a little bit to get the pace down. I think the hairpin, it looked faster than it actually was. Like, sometimes you get this bit of rotation, but it's not exactly the rotation you need. So we are barely up on our time, and currently it's looking close to being out of the session. So we need to have a good spoon corner, which we don't do. We have an even worse spoon corner than before. So now it's all about the final corner. Of course, I knew I have a lot of time there. The split is not amazing. It's a 4.92. We're still up on the P7 time there. You can see how much time we lost in the final corner. So now we are completely nailing the cut, and this is the best final corner of the actual Q2 session. So that was important, otherwise it would have looked dark. So P2 at the moment behind Nico by less than half.
Fucking finally the final chicane. Holy fuck.
Middle sector just wasn't strong, but everything else was pretty solid. So yeah, I mean first sector of course as well, but lap time wise it was okay.
Was a good lap sector from the
last sector was good, really good. Fastest by a mile, not a mile, I mean, but it was good. I was happy with that. So we made it to Q3, and in Q3 we only had one run because, well, we had 2 runs, but one on fresh tires. So this is the only one that will matter. And let's see if we can stand it onto pole position like we did in Hungary. We are at least again in Q3, so that is already an achievement after last week in Austria where we spun in Q1. And my turn 1, turn 2, I don't know where I went. I went to fucking space. Sorry for the language. I went to space. I was over half a tenth down at this point, and then we gained a lot here, did a good job in that section. And despite the fact that we lost over half a tenth, it was so bad. Like, it was crazy bad considering it was on old tires as well. It's a 7.08 in sector 1. Like, I could not believe that. It should have been like a low 6 then, potentially, without the mess up. So yeah, I don't know. It was alright. Hairpin also okay. And it could have been a bit better. And I think we are gonna actually have a pretty decent spoon corner. First bit, alright, hit the apex early on the power, and then get the car rotated and early on the power. Yeah, that was really good. Spoon was nice. Fast lap at the moment from Nicolas Longue. 488. Our split is a 286, which potentially could probably do a 5 low. But our final corner is disgusting. We get so much understeer from the first corner that we don't cut it perfectly. So crossing the line is only a 652.
Fucked up turn 1, fucked up final chicane, otherwise
not
good luck.
Been on pole. 365.
10th in the last.
Very slow, half a time slower than in Q2.
Fuck
so yeah, not a good
job. What am I
job.
doing? I'm
Middle
literally
was okay.
incapable.
First one, pretty bad. So final.
Have you seen that?
The final and the first.
Schrecklich, oder?
Middle was okay.
Also,
actually. Yeah. With that, we would have been better, but probably not. Maybe P4 ahead of Bari, but Bari also invalidated his lap, and we get a really good run off the line. Like maybe one of the better starts the season, better than Bari, for example, ahead. And we take the inside line because I didn't know exactly what Bari's gonna do with that. Jano could get alongside, and because it's my teammate, of course we don't fight him too hard. Not a big loss if your teammate goes by. So in case anyone will call me Jano's dog, it was not a team order. It was just the positioning at the beginning. Jano had a better position, and with that, there's no point in fighting it too much. We're still in pretty much the same spot. So yeah, from here on, it's gonna be managing tires, ERS until the pit window. So yeah, pretty much now, after this corner, until lap 9, there's not much gonna be happening anymore. We're just settling into a rhythm, going into the DRS train, reading what's happening behind if people are pushing. Jake is also P8, which is good. So we are all close together. Need to see how Daniel race unfolds at this point. But pretty much all the Mercedes drivers are in a pretty solid position to fight for the front positions actually at the end of the race. I mean, look how tight everything is. If you go for just like a perfect strategy, then it's pretty easy to finish on the podium.
Ist irgendeiner vor uns auf Mediums? Nee, oder?
Would be, right? So lap 9. This is where the strategy plays off ahead of us. So Bari and Jano were coming in. Initially I was a bit confused because I was committed to the mediums. I wasn't even aware that Josh did pit at this point in lap 8. We should have pitted lap 8, and well, now the others are pitting as well. We used a lot of ERS to get back into the DRS when Bari and Jano were pitting. On the in-lap, Thomas was pushing with ERS, we were just maintaining, and with that we lost quite a bit of time. Went from 8 tenths to 1.7 seconds. And you can see the undercut is incredibly powerful, and we have now 2 lap fresher tires than most of the other guys. I think I have 3 lap fresher than Joni, and of course they are on hard, so I have also in the first few laps a slight advantage, but it's not gonna be like crazy, especially as their tires are already up to temperature. Mine are currently getting into the window, and you will see also from here on how close I'm gonna be, especially in the corners. And make a little bit of a mistake here, so we couldn't get a move done on Joni initially because I was not sure if we would run into Otis. I mean, that's the issue if you run in this train. If you go for an overtake, like for example here, like Jake is right ahead. If I would go for a move on the inside of Otis, I would probably kill Jake, so that's not an option. And unfortunately some people do that, and that's why we see these stupid incidents sometimes. But I mean, I could go for a move, of course, but it's just too risky. Yeah, still, of course, trying to make something happen, but the grip is already kind of getting not enough to launch something on Otis. In the corners, I'm close in the corners where you can't overtake, and in the corners where you can overtake, you're just not close enough. And you can't make the biggest difference there.
Man.
So yeah, I was a bit annoyed
oh, man.
because I couldn't get past, and I didn't know Otis's ERS at the point, and then I figured out he had 50%. I was like, yeah, okay, our straight line speed is terrible, and you can see how close we can follow. Like, it's actually crazy. But it doesn't help if you can't pass. Like, you literally cannot pass in these situations. It's just like I would risk in taking out the driver in front because they're all so close. We are now 1.5 tenths behind Otis, and of course he's gonna go a bit defensive, but then Pookie is going for a move, for example. If I wouldn't go to the outside, he would also risk a collision there. So it's always so dangerous in these situations. And now on lap 16, beginning of lap 17, you can see Pookie is going for a move. And we are sticking side by side with him throughout the whole straight. Like a little bit of contact there on the exit. And into turn 1, turn 2, I don't know, like it felt like we made a bit of contact, but it doesn't actually look like it. With that I run onto the marbles, and in the next corner I'm still at his side. He thinks I'm gonna turn in earlier. With that we make a little bit of contact, and at the second
was
part,
machst du,
he had a little
Alter?
snap I saw on the replay and turned into me. I in the heat of the moment I was really annoyed, but I think actually I think it's more of a racing incident, but if somebody's to blame, it's more me because I was a bit further behind. I was still, I would say,
Wie viel jünger sind Freddys Reifen?
there, like into the second corner, into the left, and he turned in a bit earlier than I would have, but yeah, not much like could have done differently in the situation aside from backing out. But at the point I was thinking, why would I back out when we went side by side and pushed so hard? So yeah, I don't know. I would take more of the blame, but I apologize to Eastfront. So yeah.
Junge, dann zieh doch vorbei, Mann. Alter, ey.
Yeah. Is what it is.
Luke Smith auch, oder wie?
Can't change it anymore, but you can also leave your thoughts in the comments down below on the incident. Now we're getting passed by all these drivers.
Mann, wieso benutzt er denn nicht sein ERS, Mann, Alter, dann, ey,
5
ohne
lap
Witz.
pressures, I think Danny as well. And like people passed me without using their ERS, and I got a bit frustrated because I was like, come on, if you pass me already, then just get by. I'm not fighting you, so go, 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 go. And now we can see that Danny is struggling big time. I was actually like curious if he has wing damage. But they are all just, you can see I had Pedreño, no ERS, Josh, no ERS, Danny, no ERS. It's just like they are part of the strain now and nobody has battery anymore. Danny goes for a late move. I don't know if he did avoid Otis or anything, but with that I was way too cautious. I was thinking, okay, what if I'm gonna run into the rear of them because they're gonna overly slow down. With that, Alfie gets alongside. If Danny pulls out to the left, Alfie can't get past. I was thinking he would do that. Alfie and Danny make contact.
Oh Mann, ey, ohne Witz.
We get forced off with that. Otherwise, we would have been
Nur weil Danny diesen blöden Manöver machen muss in der Harley.
Es
ist so unnötig, Mann.
The typical League Racing chaos is gonna unfold in this lap.
Also so echt, das ganze ERS wieder verbraucht wegen der Kacke.
Contact until they
fully crash out.
Both DNF from the race. Now we have Otis messing up ahead. Tom going for a move. With that, I get pushed wide,
yeah, nice.
And I'm not having it. Now we're going 3 wide again onto the straight, and I'm just like, nope. I had enough. Even if he's covering the inside, I'm gonna have the inside. I don't care. I don't care about the marbles or anything, and I'm gonna feed you your own medicine. Because I was so pissed.
So hier like, kriegst deine eigene Medizin.
It's time for Kiefer to get his elbows out. It's enough. Every week the same thing. You can't do that with me every week. Honestly. Then we get past in the end, so yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, guys, leave a like. It was a terrible strategy. We would have needed to pit lap 8 onto the hards. Like our strategy was just the undercut was so powerful that it made no sense. And with that, we lost all the positions, could never make it back.
Wow, also
so,
yeah.
Unlucky.
So ein
really frustrated, but at least quali was okay, bit off the pace, but yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Cheers for your support. Peace out. And yeah, at the moment I'm just in this section I'm just complaining about the others with how bad the strategy was. And that even Pedreño went from P19 to ahead of us.
Keine Ahnung, ob das
crazy.
waren, aber ich meine, wenn Pedreño von 19 startet. Also wieso gehen wir so früh rein, wenn wir keinen Vorteil haben?
Next time differently. So, see you in the next one. Have a great day. Yo Marcel. Peace.